Hi, my name is Anna Liss. I'm the Director of Planning and Development for Monroe County. Recently, we were excited to announce the Jump Starts Initiative, a $2 million grant program to help arts and cultural organizations in Monroe County reopen after the COVID-19 pandemic. Arts organizations in the Greater Rochester region will be eligible for grants ranging from $5,000 to $20,000. Organizations with operating budgets of less than $2 million will be eligible for the program. You can find information about the Jump Starts Initiative as well as access the application online at monroecounty.gov/jumpstarts. County Executive Bello recognizes that nonprofit arts and cultural organizations are a vital industry sector in Monroe County, which is one of the most arts-rich regions in the United States. I'm here today to walk you through the application so that I can answer any questions that you might have before you get started. Right now I'm going to walk you through from start to finish how the application works. It's pretty simple and straightforward, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have if you email us at jumpstarts@monroecounty.gov or if you call us at 585-753-2000. So the Jump Starts application has 5 sections. Section 1 is basic information about your organization. Section 2 includes all of your contact information as well as your mailing address. Section 3 will prompt you to provide a narrative about how the COVID-19 pandemic impacted your organization and in particular impacted your organization's budget and financial situation. Section 4 will allow you to upload any documents that support your application. And then finally, Section 5 is simply a certification where you will certify that everything that you filled out is true and complete. So we set up a dummy application on our end just by way of example. One thing that you should keep in mind is that many organizations have a different corporation name versus their doing business as or DBA name. Here we're giving our corporation name as Monroe County Planning, but we're calling our organization's DBA Puffy Paint Pros. After you fill out the name of your DBA, you should fill out the name of a principal, someone who represents the organization, and then finally include that person's title under the signatory section. Next, you just fill out your signatory pronouns, and then fill out your employer identification number, or EIN. The easiest way to find this number is by grabbing your tax documents that you submitted during the last tax year. Your EIN should be listed on those files. In the next section, you're asked to fill out the names of all officers and or individuals who serve on your board of directors or who are members of your organization. This is not applicable if your organization does not have a board of directors. We don't ask for any contact information for members of your board. The next section will prompt you to check a box or boxes. You'll be asked what type of service or category your arts organization provides to the Monroe County audience, whether you're a cultural awareness organization, an arts education nonprofit, a dance organization, a theater, etc. And then finally, in this section, you'll be asked to identify whether any county employees or county elected officials are officers, board members, directors, or employees of your organization. If that's not applicable, don't worry about filling it out. Once that's complete, you can check the box that it's complete. Your next section is simply contact info. So this is pretty basic and straightforward. One thing that I want to call out is that we're asking you to provide your website address and or links to any of your social media accounts if you have them, just so that we can learn a little bit more about your organization beyond what's in your application. Again, once you're finished with this section, you can click Save and Continue. Section 3 is really the most crucial section in the Jump Starts grant application. This is the COVID-19 impact and budget section. First, you'll be asked to provide the number of full-time employees working at your organization. Next, the number of part-time employees. And third, the number of volunteers serving your organization. Some not-for-profit organizations don't have any employees, and so it's okay for you to list 0 employees if that's true for you. Next up, you're asked to include a brief description of how your organization was negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. There are no limits on the number of words that you can include in this section to describe the negative impact. You can also keep it quite brief. For instance, Puffy Paint Pros indicates in their application that the organization couldn't sell any of its Puffy Paint shirts at art galleries or festivals during the COVID-19 pandemic because art galleries and festivals were shut down. So a description as simple as that will suffice. Next up, you're asked to provide your 2019 annual operating budget, not in specific terms, but in terms of a range in one of 3 categories. Whether your organization has an annual operating budget of under $50,000, whether your organization has an operating budget of between $50,000 and $99,999, or if you have between $100,000 and $2 million a year annual operating budget. This will determine the grant dollar amount for which you are eligible. Section after your budget asks you to attach a copy of your operating budget and any proposed or actual 2021 annual operating budget documents. That's coming up in the next section, in the uploads section, so you don't have to worry about attaching anything right now. Finally, in the impact section of the application, you're asked to check some boxes again. Your organization will use grant proceeds to pay for the following expenses. Check all that apply, whether it's rent, lease, or mortgage payments, utilities, payrolls, suppliers, PPE, adapting your physical space, your building for the post-COVID realities, replacing inventory, costs associated with regulatory compliance, and finally, lost revenue. So really broad, and again, check all that apply. And then again, click Save and Continue. Section 4 is your document upload section. So here you're being asked to include formal documents regarding your DBA, if applicable. That should be a New York State document. Your 2019 annual operating budget, including your expenses, any proposed or actual 2021 annual operating budgets, and then receipts or invoices of eligible expenses. The 2021 annual operating budget document and your 2019 annual operating budget document don't need to be in any specific format. They just have to be in a format that's specific to your organization. And providing us with any receipts or invoices of eligible expenses is preferred, but not required. Once again, click Save and Continue, and then proceed to the final section of the application. Section 5 is just simply an attestation. Here you're asked to certify that things are true and accurate. It says here, if you receive this grant, you agree to the following. Your principal operations are located in Monroe County. Click I agree. This organization is qualified to participate in the program. Click I agree. The organization will use the grant funds to pay for expenses listed above in your application in Section 3, all of which occurred after March 20th, 2020. The organization, and if applicable, its officers are current on real property, federal, state sales, franchise, income, and withholding taxes. This is important because our team here will be performing due diligence on your organization to make sure that you are current on all of those tax obligations to make sure that you are eligible for the Jumpstart grant. Next, you'll be asked to attest as to whether you're organized, validly exist, and are in good standing under the laws of the state of New York. Again, this is an aspect of your application which we will be providing due diligence work on. You'll be asked if your organization and officers are not presently debarred, suspended, declared ineligible by any federal department or agency. You'll be asked whether your officers and or your board members have not, within a 3-year period preceding this application, so 3 years before you started filling out this application, convicted of or had a judgment rendered against them. Next up, you'll be asked if your organization and or officers or board members are not presently indicted or otherwise criminally or civilly charged. You'll be asked if within, again, that 3-year window preceding you filling out this application, if you had one or more public transactions with federal or local or state government terminated. And then these last 3 fall within the same general parameters as the earlier attestations. And again, our team will be performing due diligence work to make sure that when you click agree, that these items are in fact true of you, your organization, your officers, and your board of directors, if applicable. And again, make sure to hit save and continue. And then finally, once you're finished with the whole application and you're notified that it's complete, each section should have a green box next to it with a check mark that says complete. And then you can go ahead and submit your application. Once you have submitted your application, you'll receive notification in your email that it's been received, and you'll be hearing from the Monroe County Department of Planning and Development upon our review of your application. Again, as I mentioned earlier, if you have any questions or concerns throughout this process, please email us at jumpstarts@monroecounty.gov or give us a phone call at 585-753-2000. If you have issues with language access, we'll be happy to work with you through our partnership with the Ibero-American Action League and other service providers in Monroe County. We look forward to serving your organization, and we thank you for the service that you do to this community in the arts and cultural sector.